Right, Tulio there champs. Now today I'm going to talk about everything wrong with the MacBook Pro 14 and 16, these M1 Pro and M1 Max laptops from Apple. I mean, I've already gone on record on saying that within the scope of what these laptops are designed for, they are almost perfect, if not perfect. And yeah, I'm going to stand by that. And it may just be that these laptops become the laptop of the year. You never know. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be making videos on the best laptop in every sort of category. So stay tuned for those videos and make sure you subscribe. But I gotta find some stuff wrong with these laptops, eh? Well, let's do it. So first issue with these laptops. If you like the sun, you want to go down the Caribbean and lay on the beach and watch beach balls, well, you can get that for free on these Macs. Yes, there will be beach balls. And I've got to put all the issues down to Monterey, okay? This Monterey is buggy. I've got to say, there must be a competition between Google, Microsoft and Apple to see who can make the buggiest software, like for real. I mean, there's memory leak issues, especially if you change your mouse cursor. You know, I've had apps closed, beach balls, and I actually had one like hard reset. It just cut off and I had to start it again. That was on the 14-inch. Some of this will be down to apps not being 100% optimized, of course, as well. But Monterey is an issue at the moment. And what I'll say now is if you have a sort of like a bulletproof sort of system now and it's working 100% and it's super stable, do not switch to these laptops yet. Another issue that's been well documented is that notch. Now, given that the notch does not actually cut into the 16:10 display and it's actually an extra bit added on top, I was one of the biggest critics, but I actually hardly ever notice it. I gotta say, it doesn't look good in pictures if you see it with the notch. Enough about that, I've heard enough. Who cares? Now, when it comes to the ports, it's great that they've added the ports back, but we have HDMI 2, not 2.1. We have Bluetooth 5, not 5.2, and we have Wi-Fi 6, not Wi-Fi 6E. Now, I review a ton of laptops, and as I said before, if you're into laptops, make sure you subscribe to this channel, but most of the laptops I'm reviewing now have Wi-Fi 6E, HDMI 2.1, and Bluetooth 5.2. So it would be nice, Apple, if gave us the latest ports here. And in actual fact, the Wi-Fi is one of the slowest I've had. It's not slow. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It's not like it's terrible Wi-Fi, but compared to some of the other laptops, I can tell you just transferring files from my NAS takes longer over Wi-Fi with the Mac. Now, apparently it's down to bandwidth limitations. They actually didn't have enough bandwidth for HDMI 2.1, and you can't complain too much because they give you 3 full fat Thunderbolt 4s. So unlike the last 16-inch MacBook Pro, which only had 2 Thunderbolt controllers, so 2 Thunderbolts on either side shared the same bandwidth, these are 3 separate Thunderbolts. So I'm not going to complain too much. At least you can plug into a HDMI if you need it, right? And I think that's all it's there for. And this goes on to the SD card reader as well. It's not super fast. I get about 250 megabytes per second. It would be nice if they had the faster one. But again, I've heard mixed stories about it's either a bandwidth limitation or they couldn't get UHS 3 in quantities. Like, who knows? But I was getting beach balls looking at photos on an SD card. I think that's Monterey as well. Now, I've got to say, my biggest issue with this is you can't turn off fast charging. And I have the MacBook Pro 16. And the MagSafe is on the left-hand side. First thing, I want it on the right-hand side. Now, of course, I can plug USB-C into the right-hand side. But even if you use the 140-watt power brick and use a USB-C cable, you only get 96 watts if you plug into the USB-C. I even used a Dell 130-watt power supply USB-C and still would only get 96 watts. Well, actually, I only got 90 watts with that. Well, it told me 90 watts, but it was actually using 96. But anyway, what happened was I was actually encoding some video and video editing at the same time. I was measuring the wattage usage and it was over 96 watts. So I can't use USB-C, otherwise I'll get battery drain, right? Battery drain is bad because if you only use a couple of percent and then it starts charging again, you're going to kill your battery that way. But on battery, I was using over 100 watts, okay? So I was discharging that battery really fast and the battery was draining quite fast. That's one thing too. The 32-core GPU will suck that battery really fast if you're pushing it. So when the battery was going down, I actually plugged it in and it was whacking a full 130 watts into that battery. This is after I've been discharging that battery really fast, pulling over 100 watts from it, then plugging it in and whacking 130 watts charging into it. I could feel the battery getting warm. So I'd love to turn off fast charging for a start. That would be nice. So I'm not charging so aggressively. I mean, it would be good if you can just turn it on when you need it. And also to have the full amount of power, I have to use the MagSafe. I can't use the USB-C, which again, for me, I like my power on the right-hand side and I can't do that. Now, what I'm going to talk about here is not so much an issue, but I go through my comments and I get a common comment all the time. And if you have a look on YouTube at all the videos that get the big views with these M1 Max and Pros, you'll see that a lot of them are gaming videos, or they're videos where these M1 Pro Maxes are doing stuff that's more traditionally done on Windows laptops. Because people see these reviews, they see how amazing these laptops are and they go, I want a bit of that. But yeah, nah, don't do it. Do not do it. Half the games won't work for a start. You're going to have a bad gaming experience with crossover and parallels, etc. Unless the games you play are native to Mac and run Metal. Do not buy this laptop if you're a Windows user and you think, oh yeah, I can run my games on it now because I saw a video. No, no, no. Do not do that. And if you are like a creator and you're using stuff that's better on Windows laptops at the moment, don't buy this unless they have an Apple Silicon version of the app you use. There are a lot of people thinking that the stuff they're doing on a Windows laptop now will just transfer to these. Go and check that the apps you use and the games you use run natively on the Mac. Otherwise, just forget it. Now, I have also mentioned that these displays on these Macs are the best displays you're going to get. HDR, beautiful, smooth with the 120 Hertz, but they don't have the fastest pixel response. Just a little nitpick there. It's not like a 1 millisecond gaming laptop. However, I'll take it every day of the week. Even if these were 60 Hertz, I would take it because the quality of these panels is amazing and HDR never looked better. And the last little nitpick here is the size and weight. Now, I'm never going to complain about a laptop being bigger, thicker. If you get better performance, better acoustics, it's not going to blow your head off with fan noise. However, the promise of Apple Silicon was performance per watt. So I was thinking we can have it in the same chassis as the last Macs, so they're thin and sort of light laptops, but then have awesome power as well. But we've seen what happened. These GPUs use a lot of power, 65 watts for the 32 core. And in actual fact, if you have the 16 core GPU on the 16 inch, you don't really need it to be that big and thick, do you? Because it's really built for the 32 core. But here I have a laptop, okay? This is the G14. It is lighter than the MacBook Pro 14. It uses more power than the MacBook Pro 16. So you can actually see, you can actually build a thinner and lighter laptop that uses more power. There's already proof that this can be done in this laptop. Again, uses more power than the 16 inch, but lighter than the 14 inch Mac. You can notice the weight compared to the last models and even compared to its kin now. Apple sort of have some of the heavier laptops in their class now, which is sort of strange when other laptops use actually more power but are actually lighter. So maybe we can shave some weight off next time, Apple. But anyway, these are nitpicks. This is an amazing laptop. I'm just going through all the issues I've had in the last whatever month. Stay tuned for my laptops of the year. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Tally ho.